Hello, welcome to this lesson titled Photoshop for Beginners. This lesson covers the overview of Photoshop, a start workspace, Photoshop panels, how to create a new document, Photoshop artboard, Photoshop tools, and Photoshop design elements. So what is Photoshop? Adobe Photoshop is a software used for photo editing, graphic design, animation, or digital art creation. It offers a range of features such as layers, selection tools, filters, retouching tools, text tools, and painting and drawing tools. Photoshop has many versions. The latest version is the Creative Cloud. Photoshop was first created by two American brothers named Thomas and John Knox in the year 1987, which a year on they sold their distribution license to Adobe System Incorporated. That was 1988. So 1988, Adobe released the first version of Photoshop, which was Photoshop version 1, which a year one they upgraded it to 2, and as time went by, they upgraded it to 3.0, from 3.0 to 4.0, 5.0, 5.5, 6.0, 7.0. Around 2002, Adobe included Photoshop to their creative suite and renamed it to Photoshop CS. So in Photoshop CS, they released version CS1, CS2, CS3, CS4, CS5, CX6. Around 2013, they moved it from offline based to online based called Creative Cloud. And Creative Cloud is a suite of creative tools used by designers, photographers, and artists. Photoshop uses common graphics image formats such as PSD, JPEG, TIFF, PNG, GIF, and others. So the next on our list is the Start Workspace. The Start Workspace is basically the arrangement of various tools, including the panels, bars, and windows. One will only see the Start Workspace when they first launch Photoshop or when there is no document open. The Start Workspace helps users to quickly access their recent files, store on their PC or in their Creative Cloud accounts. Users can also search for Adobe stock assets such as Ph.D images, illustrated fonts, etc. The Start Workspace also provides a Learn Mode tab, and with this Learn Mode, users can access libraries with free assets and know more about various mobile applications available. This is an interface of the Start Workspace. On our left is first time user, and on our right is when one has used Photoshop before. So a first time user, this is the interface you see. It all depends on the version which you are using. This is CC 2018 version. So when you first launch Photoshop, the CC 2018, this is the interface you see as the Start Workspace. And on our right is when you revisit Photoshop, the interface you see. That one displays the recent document which you have worked on. But with the first time user, it doesn't display anything because you have not worked in Photoshop before. So it only gives you access to your recent files, even though the right one also gives you the same features. The next on our list is the Photoshop Essential Workspace. So now, when the first time user or a user open a document in Photoshop, the default interface which Photoshop display is called Essential Workspace. That's by default. Users can set or change the workspace. It all depends on what you are doing. If you are into photography, definitely you will set your workspace according to the tools which you will mostly use. So with the Essential Workspace, it has the menu bar, the option bar, the document window, that's the working area, the search and workspace feature, the creative cloud libraries, it has the panels. It also has the tools panels. So now let me launch my Photoshop. So this is my Photoshop. I've not changed my workspace. I'm still using the essential workspace. So let me just open a document by clicking on this document. So this is how the essential workspace looks like. It has the menu bar. The menu bar displays the various menu tabs. You have the file, edit, image, layer, type, select, filter, 3D view, plugins, window help. And any tool a user will select comes with an option. So when a user click on this tool or select tools, these are the options. So this tab is called the option bar. The option bar panel displays options for the current selected tool. We have the document window or the working area. This is the document window. This area is the document window. The document window displays the file you are working on. The document window can be tab or group. So let me open another document for you to see. Yes, there's also another document. So the document window, as many as you can have many documents open at the same time, and the tabs will be here. To have a tab here for you to change, for you to switch. So this is how the document window is. Essential also have this search icon. When you click on this, you can search for fonts, plugins, Adobe Stock, user guide, and so on. Tutorials, you can also browse through tutorials here. So the search icon lets you search across user interface elements, documents, content, stock assets, and many more. The Essential Workspace also has the panels. These are panels. You have the layer panels, the path, properties, gradient, colors. And mostly these panels, if your panel showing here, users can just go to window and check the panel which they want it to be shown or be seen there. So if we want gradient panels to be displayed or be seen on the panels, you can just check it. Then we will see gradient. So there are so many panels. Essential Workspace also has the tools panels. These are the tools panels. Tools panels, we have the move tools, polygonal lasso tools, create tools, quick selection tools, a crop tool, a frame, eyedropper, healing brush, brush tool, clone stamp, magic eraser. And one thing is that all of these tools comes with another hidden tools. So for you to know the other hidden tool, you just need to right click then to display other tools. Just right click. So these are the tools panels. And these tools panels contains tools for creating and editing images, artboard, page, elements, and so on. And we have the Creative Cloud libraries. The Creative Cloud libraries makes your image, colors, and text, styles, and more shareable across desktop application and mobile apps. So if a user save a document in his or a Creative Cloud account, the user can switch a device and still be able to access it. It's just like Gene Drive or OneDrive. So that's all about the essential workspace. So if a user wants to change the essential workspace, the user just needs to come in. By default, is the essential workspace. You have the 3D workspace, the graphic and web, motion, painting, photography. User can also set their workspace and save it just by clicking on new workspace. Then you save your workspace. The workspace, users select workspace according to what they are into. If one is into motion graphics, definitely the person might not need some tools here or some panels here. So the person will arrange it according to the tools or the panels he or she needs or will mostly use. So that's all about essential workspace. So now the next on our list is creating a new document. Now it's time to work in Photoshop. The first thing which we are going to do is to create a new document. To create a new document, the user can use the following keyboard shortcut. On Mac is Command plus N, on Windows is Control plus N. So let's launch our Photoshop application. This is our Photoshop. And to create a new document, we can just click create new here or click for new or Control N. I'm using Windows, so Control N shortcut. Then we will set the dimension. We are tasked to design a business card. So the dimension for a business card is 9 by 5 centimeters. So we set the dimension, the width, always the first number is the width, the second number is the height. So 9 by 5, width will be 9, height will be 5. So we set it. Then we change the color mode to CMYK. We set the resolution to 300, base 16 unit centimeters. After that, we can click on this icon to save it. And there is something called artboard, but with artboard, mostly it's for artwork, which will end up on screen. So if I click on artboard, the color mode will change to RGB. We have CMYK. The CMYK is for press work, for printing press, and the RGB color mode is for screen works. So if I check artboard, the color mode will automatically set to RGB. So we are going to print, so there's no need for me to check artboard. Then I can set the color mode to CMYK. We have bitmap. Bitmap is just two colors, and grayscale is black and white with shade. But with bitmap, it's just flat black. And with we have CMYK, which I said for it's for printing press. So we select CMYK. After we just click on create, and we have our new document created. Now we have our new document created. And next thing which we are going to do is to design a business card. Example of the business card is here. So this is the business card which we are going to design. Now let's get back to our new document working area. Our new document tab. So the first thing which we are going to do is to add our content. And the content, let me just do copy and paste. No, let me just take you through. First thing which we need to do is to add the shape. And this is where the shape tool is located. So you press and hold the left button on the mouse. You drag it, leave it. So this is where the stroke is for the outline. You would disable the outline and enable the shape. Now we have enabled the shape. The next thing which we are going to do is to create curve corners. So it depends on your version. There are some version you get this feature. There are some version you won't get. So if your version has this feature, you just click on this dot, then you drag to the left to create a curved corner. Or you can also come to properties. If your property panel is not showing, you go to Windows, make sure properties is checked. Then you scroll down, you see this, you set the corners here. You can just enter your preferred pixels, maybe 10 pixels corner, 20 pixels. You set it to your preferred size which you want. So now we have set our corners. So now our corners is set. The next thing which we are going to do is to add the details. Details such as the name, the position, telephone number, email, and website address. So to add text, you click on text horizontal type to T stands for type. Then don't click inside the shape, click outside the shape. So the name which we are going to use is now I've typed the text, but the color is white, so you can't see it. So you click on, you press Ctrl A to select all. Locate this box, click to change the color. So let's change the color to black. And to change your font type, you locate the font drop down here. Font which we are going to use is Open Sans. Open Sans bold and next increment. After that, we just drag it and position it where we want. If you want to increase the size of the type or the text, locate it here. You can also press and drag on the T icon to size the font or the type. or the text. When everything is done, you need to check, click on the check or commit. And the next thing which we are going to do is to add the details, the other details. So to do that, we just need to drag, make sure your text or your type 2 is selected. Press and drag to draw a text box. You need to draw a text box, so you press and drag to draw a text box. Then you add you type in the details. The details are after typing everything, you press Control. You need to select or you change the font to regular. You size this one out. You size it down. Sorry, you size it down to change the font size. After that, we can drag it and position it where under the name. We increase the text box. We need to change the vertical line spacing. Let's first set it to auto. And this is where you change the vertical line spacing. We have the character spacing as well. So vertical line spacing, let's increase our vertical line spacing. So now let's add the job title or the position. So I, so you have the UI design. Let's use the character spacing. So this is where the character spacing, let's set our character spacing. So 450, 440, or 430 won't be bad. Okay, so 440 is okay. After that, like I said, you click on commit. Let's change this one to 10. Commit. So that's let's give it a space. So the next thing which we are going to do is to add our logo, the school logo, and the icons. Let's increase the size of our shape, our background shape. And that you press shift to change the dimension. Press and drag. Let's also let's also increase the chair. So let's do reposition of the text info. Let's lock our background. To lock, you select the layer. This is the layer panel. Then you click lock. So now you can highlight this and shift it up using the arrow key, the arrow up key on the keyboard. So let's change this vertical spacing back to 11. Good. Select, click on commit. So now the next thing which we need to do is to add the logo and the icons. So to add our logo, we locate the logo folder. Here's the logo folder. We have the logo here. We just need to let's drag both the logo and the icon, drag into our working area. We scale it down, move it, and position it. It's where we want it to be. We press enter or commit button. We have the icons to scale it down, remove it, press enter or commit button. Now let's change the color. To change the color, Control A to select all, color picker. Let's change it to this white. So now to click commit, let's change this one to this color code FFF 5C1. This is where you set the color code. This is where you change your color. You can decide to pick any color. So the color code is FFF 5C1. We change this color as well. And now we are done. Next thing which we can do is we add another background to the document itself. So to do that, we need to make sure locate the last layer, which is background. Then you click on this icon, click on solid color, which we are adding a flat color. That's one full color. And let's select it. This is the color picker. This icon is the color picker. Let's pick this color and decide to darken it. Press OK, and we are done. Let's position this text where so we highlight or we select or we position it well. And so now we are done with our business card. The next thing which we need to do is to save the business card. So to save the business card, you will click on File, Save. When you click on Save, it gives you few options which says either you save it as Photoshop type, large format, PSB or PDF or TIFF. All these formats are editable formats. So you can select any of these formats and keep your document editable. So let's save it as Photoshop. You give it a name. You locate where you want to save it. Let me save it in this folder, UMAT card business card design one. After that, you click on save. And now the document is saved. So if you also want to save it as JPEG, Those with the latest Photoshop version, click on File. You don't need to click on Save As, but rather save a copy. But those with the old version, you can just click on Save As to give you JPEG option. No, let's click on Save a copy. You give it a name and you change as type from Photoshop to JPEG, the first one, JPEG standard. After that, you click on Save and your document is saved. In case maybe we want to switch this color mode from CMYK to RGB, maybe wo- the customer has decided not to print it again, but rather post it on his or a social media channel, use it for screen reports. We can switch the color mode. So you click on image, you click on mode, click on RGB. So asks you to flatten it because the colors will change. Click on don't flatten, don't rasterize. So now we are in RGB mode and no more CMYK. So if in case you want to export it for web, you click on File, Export, Save for web, or you can also use this one, Export As, to save it. So let's say we want to save it for web. This is the web, and this is the dimension is giving us 1063 by 591 pixels. You click on Save, locate where you want to save it, click on Save, and you're done. So I think that's all for this lesson. Next lesson, we will take you through artboards and the rest.